Hi friends, Andy Vegan. Time for my daily greens again. I have this beautiful Frisée lettuce. This is the heart, the inside. Has your lengthy leaves. You can still see them. You can still see the lengthy leaves. Usually they're a little bit longer even. This is now the heart, the inside. But what it characterizes most is that they are firm and have this spiky texture, firm. And that makes also the dark leafy greens, the inside is a little lighter, but it is dark leafy green. And that is the healthiest food we have, according to medical science in the West. Because most of the diseases are affected. They look at the big picture, how many humans are sick and what's best for them. So that's what healthiest is. For a person that is super healthy is not so relevant, but for the average it is. So that is the Western medical science view. Holistic science from India, for example, Ayurveda or Chinese ancient medicine, looks at every single individual in harmony with itself and the others and the world and so the cosmos. That is a different view, but both are important. In the West, of course, this is the modern way of science. We have exact proof for things, but the things are only part of the reality. And they say this dark leafy green is the healthiest food, so that you know how to understand this idea of healthiness, in my view, right? My limited understanding. So, but the healthiest leaf also is a bitter flavor. They have a little bit of bitter flavor. Dark leafy greens oftentimes are a little bit bitter, can be. Frisée absolutely is, a little bit like endive. And so I cut them into small pieces to make it easier to combine. The good side is that I can cut it. When the leaf is tender and has a milder flavor, not bitter maybe, or not so much, I can't cut it. I have to tear it apart. So either way, it's not difficult. And now I have here some handful of this Frisée, and you see it's small pieces, and these pieces are pretty firm, so I don't have a problem. I can combine them with other ingredients. But what I do, I found is good. For example, for the onions, I like to put onions into green salads because the onions are, this happens to be a small red onion chopped up. They happen to balance the bitter flavors. It's also very healthy, recommended to eat these inexpensive onions every day raw. It's also a good thing to do. So I like to put them in a salad, and they balance the bitter flavor, perfect combination with the green leaves. So oftentimes I do that, most of the time. But you know, chopping the onion is different from mincing it. Mincing is making it fine. Fine. Chopping is coarse, a little bit coarser. And that's better for the Frisée, I found, because when they are a little bit more coarse, they can relate better to the firm leaves of the Frisée lettuce, the curly leaves. So that's why I let them a little bit larger, the pieces. Here, tomato, just a small tomato here. This happens to be a yellow, orange bottle tomato. They are fleshier, easy to cut in pieces, and they have a nice flavor, fruity tomato. It's very good. Whatever happens in my health food shop, I take it home. I try to make something of it. Now I find these orange ones, they're wonderful. So this is a very standard combination. Yeah, coarse onions here, a little bit more, and the onion and the tomato. But then it gets interesting here. Extra, I don't do that all the time, radishes. And some things I found recently is when you slice the radish thinly, you can combine it with pretty much everything in a green salad. Yeah. When I cut the radish in quarters or so, like before, It's not so easy to combine with tomatoes, for example. You chew on it, tomato falls away. Yeah? So the texture of the ingredients is more and more important to me as I notice that they can relate to each other and the texture is similar. For example, the Frisée is a dark, firm, leafy green, and it wants to be balanced, for example, with another green leaf, for example, that is also firm and maybe not so bitter. If you take a tender leafy green together with a Frisée, the tenderness would make the Frisée overwhelm it. So you don't taste the other only, not anymore. The balance doesn't work. The texture has to be similar so that the balancing process works. Otherwise, you only taste the Frisée. It's always predominant. Has to be balanced in texture too. So that's what I want to say. It's not so difficult to make a salad recipe like that. I begin with 3 ingredients, put them together, and then I add. Here, for example, I add an avocado. That's wonderful with tomatoes and onions. Very nice in a salad. It gives more nutrition. The fat also balances bitter flavors. They say fat carries flavors. Yeah. That means also it makes bitter flavors more mellow. It brings them together, all the flavors, and makes it nicer. So it's perfect balance. And now, very special, very nice chives. And here I come to my dressing, because what I found when I put chives, this is half a bunch of chives. That's a kind of mellow onion, like a green onion, but even mellower, gentler. It's one of the main kitchen herbs in Germany. Parsley and chives, these two are always here. They're very soft and gentle. And when I combine it with this dressing, the garlic cashew dressing, I found it tastes like a spring curd. It's so fantastic. I didn't notice before. When I found that out the first time, I don't always get the chives. They are a little bit more tender and fragile, and they waste pretty fast. So once I get them, I have to use it quickly, because otherwise, when they go only shopping once a week, to make it easier, the chives have to be used first. So I don't have them always. Parsley, on the other hand, is so easy to store. It never wilts. Yeah. It is. So the chives are a little bit more complicated. But when I found out that it is such a nice flavor together with this dressing, I was so blown away. So delicious. It tastes like a spring curd. And you know spring curds, right? I love them. And well, it's understandable, because there is also garlic a lot in this dressing. It's garlic cashew dressing. Is made with cashews, garlic a lot, lemon, pepper, salt. Very easy, 5 ingredients with a little bit of water blended together. That's it. And here I show you, it is a little bit runnier than usual, to my surprise. It is nicer, runnier with the Frisée. Yeah. I didn't expect that, but it happened to happen. As happened, and I found out. So you try every day to find out something. And I don't need so much here. I don't want to have it to drown. Yeah, but I can take a little bit more because it's runnier. That's good when you have a runnier dressing. You can take a little bit more if you have a firm leaf. Otherwise, when you have a tender leaf, you can't take a lot of dressing. Yeah. The bare minimum, the tender leafy green, the butterhead or so, or Batavia, they just need a little bit of dressing, just an idea of the dressing, and they are perfect. But these firm ones, these bitter ones, like a little bit more. So runnier. And now I toss it. That's another good side of the firm leaves. You can toss it ahead of time. They will not wilt. They will not mash up. They're very durable. That's nice. So they're easy. The flavor is not so easy. You have to be tricky. You have to balance them. That is the not so easy part, the flavor. The bitter flavors of that was Ayurveda and the ancient medicines call the cleansing element. So it's nice to balance them. Then you have a good cleansing. Also a nice complex flavor where all the flavors, sour, sweet, salty, bitter, hot, when they are all together, then you have a wonderful overall flavor. This is my salad today, and I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. There's another video, by the way, linked under this one, how to make the garlic cashew dressing. You can watch it if you want, but it's very easy. And again, if you like my video, subscribe, MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day to enjoy the endless vegan variety. and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and X.